Okay. Well, yeah, here we go.
Exploring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exploring the frontier of inner space.
that's
I'm
amazing.
really, I'm so glad you're willing to journey with me on this. This
Ye-
is exciting
Yes, of
territory.
course. I'm very, very, very nosy already. It is like, what? It's exciting. It's exciting because these are parts of us or of me or you, which I don't know, where we have no clue that it exists. So we bring
Exactly.
it into this into the world.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely. Okay,
Hmm.
here we go.
Yeah.
So the what I call lightning path astrology is the astrology that I've developed over the last 50 years or so. It suits me and my nature. I have an Aquarian sun and a moon in Aries. So I'm a pioneering type, and that's really what I've been doing. I'm based in the humanistic astrology tradition that Dane Rudyard pioneered, um, and it's very much centered on the individual. And as Carl Jung once said, astrology represents the summation of all the psychological knowledge of antiquity. So I really respond to his notion of the value of astrology. It really is there for us to um, bring that and ancient knowledge forward into this present moment. So on the lightning path, your natal birth chart, whoops, sorry about that. Oh boy. I gotta back up now.
The submarine.
Yeah, it's coming in when it's not supposed to. There we go. Now, I'm not going to touch anything. Okay, on the lightning path, your natal birth chart is regarded as a sacred symbol, evocative of your unlimited potential as a being of light. Owing to the chart's unitive mandalic center point, you can gainfully explore the contents of your chart along any line of inquiry you choose. All paths lead to the center, and in the center is unitive wholeness. So there's no prescription as to how you are meant to engage with your birth chart. So in January of this year, as this green comet swooped through the solar system, apparently it was the first time since the prehistoric era that this particular comet showed up. So it's quite a momentous time astronomically. And it was during that kind of window that I brought forth this particular chart form that you're seeing here, because I wanted to bring the sun and the moon into kind of a one-to-one relationship within the chart and make it visually obvious. So this was the chart that I created, and I also wanted to bring in and amplify the presence of the Sphinx, because the Sphinx is a very ancient and very specific um, alignment feature for all of humanity, really. It's been staring at the sunrise point of the equinoxes, for eons now, and so it's really a point in the chart, in the birth chart, to pay close attention to. Now, this green comet, I relate it to the myth of the feathered serpent, which is, or Quetzalcoatl, as it was called by the Aztecs. This is a returning myth from Mesoamerica. And Stephen McFadden, in his book, Ancient Voices, has this to say: Quetzalcoatl is said to be the embodiment of the serpent rainbow beam of cosmic intelligence, the electric sperm of the universe, fertilizing the womb of the earth. So very mythic and illustrative wording there. The lightning path, new moon Zoom call that we have every new moon. At that particular new moon in January, we were exploring a place in Mexico that I had never heard of before, called Guachimontones, which is the site of these circular pyramids. And as it turns out, this was one of the very earliest sites of Mesoamerican culture to embrace the sacred calendar of the later used by the Maya and also by the Aztecs, also by the Olmec. But it seems that the origin of that calendar usage quite possibly originated here in Guachimontones, which is near Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Excited by my discovery of the existence of Guachimontones, I seriously considered physically traveling there. However, a consultation with the I Ching caused me instead to simply turn inward in contemplation of what had already been revealed to me about the place. It was during this period of contemplation that I became interested in exploring the astrological tool known as the composite sun. Intuitively, I was guided to begin the process by reaching out to my longtime friend, Barbara, that would be you,
Yeah, right.
to see if she
Yes.
would be interested in such a joint venture. I further suggested that the exploration be conducted as an example to others as to how such an exploration might proceed. Happily, Barbara wholeheartedly agreed, and this presentation represents fulfillment of our joint commitment. So thank you, Barbara, for jumping on board and helping me to bring this technique through. So there we see in the background, there's a museum at the site of Guachimontones, and this construction with the white circles, these would be the different temples established at that site. And you know, seeing these circles together inspired me to, or caused me to link up to this notion of the composite sun. So it was a direct inspiration from witnessing the Guachimontones pyramids that I got this urge to explore the composite sun. So since our first meeting 25 years ago, Barbara and I have only briefly communicated with each other. In the last couple of years, however, Facebook and Zoom have enabled a closer connection between us, and we are now actively working together, even though we live thousands of miles apart. So this is a bit of historical context, using the sacred Mayan Tzolk'in calendar as the framework that we're relating to here. And this is at the core of this whole lightning path teaching, is the sacred calendar as a matrix of 260 moon cycles. So what I've done here is I'm featuring two paintings, one by myself, the one on the left, and one by Barbara, the one on the right. Now I'm aware of which sector of the Solkin grid that I painted that that image on the left. That was back in 1991 in the moon cycle 12 can. Now, Barbara, I don't know when you painted your dolphin woman painting. Do you recall the year?
It must have been, yeah, because of the birth of Isabel. She's born 92. So I think that was the first 92 or 91? 92, because we were there for her birth.
Oh,
and
right.
I painted a very beautiful painting for her birth, because she was, I had this vision of a new birth of a human being, of a new, a new human in a way.
Right.
So, but this painting is one of the ones I started, and I think I brought them over to Canada with me in this time.
Yeah, right on. So that's great. So it's they're both snuggled up together there in 91.
Yeah, without us knowing.
Yes, exactly. So we didn't meet until
unconscious.
I've got it there. First meeting October 5th, 1998, which was your birthday, if I recall. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was on Cortes Island. And I have a bit of a story about that here. So I went back to my journals, because my journals go back 50 years. And I went back to 1998. And we were in the Tzolk'in Quadrant 1 Caban, which is the Earth Force. And for those that are familiar with the temples, this was the temple. It was the Temple of Mystery.
Wow.
So at that time, and as my notes here show, a mutual friend of ours on Cortes Island, named Beverly Hollingsworth, she knew that Barbara and I were on the same wavelength, and she urged us to get together and bring our work together somehow. And so we had that meeting, and the meeting was very well, auspicious. It brought these two images together, certainly. Beverly was aware of my Descent of the Skywalkers painting on the left, and she was aware of Barbara's painting on the right, and she realized we were definitely on the same wavelength here. And that's 25 years ago.
Yeah, amazing.
Back on Cortes Island.
Yeah, and we didn't know what we were doing, you know. It's like she did a cleaning and cleansing.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the place.
This is the place. My little
yeah, your little round hut.
Little temple on right at the heart. You see here, there's this is the map of Cortes Island. And that little building was situated right dead center.
Oh, now, wow.
And so that evening that we gathered together, where you and I met and where the ceremony was held, Shine Edgar was with us, and his didgeridoo. And I'm hoping that this will play and you'll get a sense of
this was totally mystical, wasn't it? It was like so out there.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to say. I mean, there was nothing to say. It was just to do it.
Yeah.
And feel the cosmic energy coming down. I mean, I felt like his didgeridoo was like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
Kind of cleaning everything out, like sucking all the bad energy out and leave my body open to receive on this bluff in front of this little house.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a bluff. It was like sacrifice place in a way.
Yeah.
It was sacred. It was a sacred
Oh,
ceremony, I would say.
absolutely. And yeah, unfortunately, the sound is not coming through here. So I do have the address there. People can, and I'll put it in the show notes, the address to his music online. And
definitely to listen. It's
yeah,
his didgeridoo art is so profound.
it really is.
He's a healer. He's magical healer.
Yeah. Well, when I put this image together and put the star in the center, my recollection from that evening is that I looked up and I declared it to everybody. I said, look, there's the Northern Lights. There was only this very narrow band, and it was like this one line came right down to where we were. I mean, it was just so incredible. I've never had an experience like that with the Northern Lights before or since. And that was really, really special. It just made it so much vaster, the connection.
I was gone. I don't know where I was.
Yeah, there we go, zooming by.
Cosmical, totally cosmical.
Yeah, it really was. Oh, I'm so sorry that music doesn't play, but.
And my paintings were there too. We did put my paintings in the grass next to us.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Like Beverly did that. I can remember we did put some stones so they don't fly away.
There were lots of crystals flowing and stones.
Yes, we did it. She's magical.
Laying in the moss and yeah.
And she's a healer too. She's a very good healer.
Yeah.
So two healers like Shine and Beverly. They are potent healers.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So now when we zoom to the present moment, here we are. We've been working together specifically through the form of our new moon Zoom groups. We've had 13 sessions now, about 2 hours each, and a small group, anywhere from 5 or 6 to 8 or 10 at a time. And we've had these really wonderful encounters over the last 13 months. And yeah, and here we are now adding to that gathering of Zoom calls. We'll be posting this one so that everyone can have a look as well. So here we go, exploring the Dwayne and Barbara composite sun. Now, according to Lightning Path astrology, a person's natal birth chart is a mandala of personal selfhood. As such, it is an example of the universal principle of centeredness. What this implies is that no matter where we enter a birth chart, the path opens up to the center and thus to a feeling of unity. In a birth chart, the celestial body most evocative of this feeling of unity and centeredness is the sun. When we move to the composite sun, what we're dealing with is the essential focus and purpose of a given dyadic relationship. So with the zodiac here, we know that Barbara's born in the span of Libra. I'm born in the span of Aquarius. Our composite sun up at the top is in the span of Sagittarius. So again, with Quachimontones in mind, we have three charts here then that we're looking at. So there's a ton of information here for us, but what we're doing is we're going for the jugular. We're going for the core, the central core of the chart, and take it from there. Let it unfold from there.
Okay.
Now, because this presentation is meant to provide you, the viewer, with the methodology that we're using so that you can take that and apply it in your own life. We have now the calculation procedure. So once you have the zodiacal degree, you're able to now enter a vast symbolic realm within astrology that is based in what's called, well, based in the Western zodiac. That's what we've been using as our frame of reference. But along with that comes all kinds of keywords. So for Barbara and I, as our core purpose, it would appear we are encouraged to explore the realm of Sagittarius, because we have a Sagittarian composite sun. So, and this is,
wow.
I mean, just running through those keywords, I mean, it's just so right on for the kind of experience that we've shared. You know, higher learning. We're both involved in the esoteric and the getting, you know, past the surface of things, you know, exploring, outdoorsy. There we were. I mean, this image, this Joffre painting is very evocative of the feelings that you get on Cortez Island, you know, with the moss and the rocks and the and the unicorns out in the field.
Exactly. And Chiron, I have also Chiron in Sagittarius.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this is exactly my Chiron.
Right on.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Amazing. So yeah, that means we were supposed to meet, and it was also so easygoing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was no explanation, there was no planning, there was nothing of this we did before. It just happened.
Just happened, right? Yeah.
Great.
So now we can go even deeper into the zodiac. In the last 100 years, there's been a body of symbolism come forth that is based in the zodiac. So what we have are a different symbol for each degree of the zodiac. And this was brought through by Mark Edmund Jones, a famous astrologer from the last century, and Elsie Wheeler, a clairvoyant. And since that time, other astrologers have kind of refined the symbology and the interpretations and so on, or offered up their own interpretations. That being Dane Rudhyar and his book Astrological Mandala. We also have Linda Hill and her Sabian symbol book. So in all three of those books, we could go in and find Sagittarius 14 degrees and see what the symbology is. Well, as it turns out, for Barbara and I, it is the pyramids and the Sphinx. Now, just for a little synchronistic note, as I was creating this presentation, which took a number of days, a couple of 3 weeks, during that time, very close to the time that I had made this particular graphic, Barbara sent me through Messenger on Facebook an image of the pyramid and the Sphinx.
Wow.
It wasn't. So, you know, synchronicities like that always keep me on the trail. Now, this wasn't the exact image. I do have the exact image coming up. There we go. It was Earth Day, April 22nd. And this is what she sent me. So it's, and introduced me to a fellow that goes by the name of Dark Journalist on the internet.
Wow.
It's Daniel something is his personal name, but when this landed in my my inbox at the same time as I was creating this presentation, I just, it's like, wow, yes.
Yeah,
The
there's
end.
so much knowledge, isn't it? It's like
Oh,
so much new discoveries right now. I feel it's like really time that it's like we can't avoid it. We have to face it.
yes,
This knowledge from the Sphinx or whatever that happens. Like he talks about the paw, didn't he?
yes,
What's hidden underneath the paw, and he has this X factors like the X kind of X. He's looking everywhere, and it's a symbol of something hidden,
yeah, yeah,
which we can discover right now.
exactly. And we're on the trail.
Yes, blazing the trail.
Blazing a trail, that's for sure. So this is James Burgess has done a fantastic job of presenting the wisdom of the Sabian symbols. He has he's in off the coast of Ireland, I believe, and there he is.
All right.
And he has a message for us about this particular degree. Done this for probably every degree of the zodiac, and he has wonderful commentary, as you'll see shortly.
Sagittarius 14, the pyramids and the Sphinx. Each and every one of us makes our mark on the world in one way or another. For some, it may be that they build the pyramids and the Sphinx, and they're recorded in history for 5,000 years and counting. For others, it may be that they're just an important, memorable influence in the life of a child, and that child goes on to become something or influence somebody else, and there's a knock-on effect. So each of us has an impact, one way or another, in our own sphere, to our own measure of influence. And this is deeply written within us, that we want to make our mark. And there's a part of this explanation can be found in the confusion which arises early in life about who we are, what we are, the very essence of our identity and our purpose in life are not made known to us early on, mostly because of really bad parenting. Bad parenting is one of the worst problems of the species. We just don't do it right, and the parents impact upon the child in a negative way because they haven't cleared their own emotional neediness, and projection of self onto children is an invasive force that the child cannot resist. They're looking for answers, not trying to defeat attackers, and the parents dumping their emotional process on their children through misunderstandings, refusal to listen, anger, bullying, instructions that are inappropriate. All of this is a terrible force that the child cannot resist. So the child wants to reclaim itself. Each of us has gone through this. And we do this by trying to make an enduring impact upon the world. It has to be enduring. Otherwise, it's just a casual feeling or a thought. It flits away, it's gone. But to make something physical, it endures. It has a dimension of time attached to it. And those things which endure a very long time, such as the Sphinx, give testimony to the urge at that time by that artist and various technicians and builders and so on, under the instructions of a great leader. It brings testimony to the impact that that leader has upon reality. Now, we may not be able or willing to try to build pyramids, but what we can do is to write our song, tell our story, do something which is given physical form that outlives us, so that when we're gone, the message that we brought to the world, our teaching about how we interpret reality, is not entirely lost, and it has the capability of influencing someone else, either to agree with us or to disagree with us, but it has influence, and that's the main thing here. We all want to matter, and that means make material that which is in our feelings and thoughts. The way we do this is to concentrate. If we actually hold our attention clearly focused on our required visionary output indefinitely, then there will be an impact. It's certain. There will be an impact. It will be a little bit different. It might be a lot different from what you intended. We're shaped. As we shape things, we are shaped. And yet it will be impactful, and it will be a measure of who you are and what you hold to be of visionary importance, because you've stayed with it for a very long time. In fact, when you get to a certain age and you look back at all of the choices, decisions that you've made, that you didn't do this, you did do that, you paid a lot of money for this possibility, and you trained and spent a lot of time and effort doing that. If you look at all of that, sooner or later you come to the understanding of who you are, because only you did that. That's how you said who you are, by doing what you did in a way that endures through time. And we learn by doing this that concentration is the guiding force that moves us into reality, into engagement with other people, particularly, because nothing that we can do, nothing, is done alone. We cannot do anything alone. We must collaborate with others. And we win that collaboration by our grace in some way. It is that soft quality of grace and beauty that attracts people to help us out. It does seem like money is what does it, and in the short-term view, perhaps that's got some truth to it. But the bigger questions, the things that really last and pass the test of time, that requires synergy, a harmony that develops when two people are in rapport with the same visionary intention. Then this extra life force arises and brings about results that otherwise could not be achieved. Something about the human species wants there to be a pyramid, wants there to be a sphinx, big and strong and mysterious. Now, this question of mystery arises in this regard, and Rudyard focuses more on that. The things that really last throughout a long time and get repeated and interpreted and reworked and made into beautiful art forms, and these things, they tend to be mysterious. They tend to be explanations of the mysteries of life, because we hold those mysteries to be very dear indeed. They endure, actually. The answers to the questions and the questions themselves endure. And they're recorded in physical form, in symbols and in music and in artworks and in stone circles. The mysteries are enduring. And this is how they're kept alive, by taking on the form of physical things. So if you're familiar with rune stones, the Viking way of communicating, it was their language system. These are very mysterious now, and we want to keep them alive now, and we read into their simple meanings something mysterious and hidden away, which inspires us to know more of the meaning of life. And the I Ching, it's the same thing, even though you may not understand it. You get the sense that this is profound and meaningful. And the yin-yang symbol and all the horoscope glyphs that tell you the zodiac signs and the planets. There's something about them that tweaks our curiosity, those of us that are more esoterically inclined. And we look into it. Why is the symbol for Pluto a cross under a half circle which contains a circle? Is that meaningful or is it not? Why is the alchemist concerned with turning lead into gold? There's no hint whatever that they were greedy people that wanted to spend that gold on things. Not at all. They wanted to bring their knowledge of the mysteries right down to earth, into that which is the best of the earth plane, gold in its own way. And they wanted to turn heavy lead, which is heavy, into something light, like gold. And this metaphor can be interpreted as related to personality. As we make our message known to the world by building enduring things in the physical realm, we learn how to shape our vision so that it can survive the robust tests of physicality. And that sharpens the mind. It has a real effect on how clearly we think, because we have to overcome problems. And it is not that we produce a pyramid that matters. It is that we have overcome the problems associated with building something that impressive physically. And when we're using the mysteries of the occult, it's not really very important that the signs are kept alive as such, but then the knowledge is that subtle atmosphere of realization. We need to keep that alive. So the Sphinx is no greater achievement than the one who made the Sphinx in achieving the mindset that enabled him or her to create the Sphinx. And we take that into our lives. Whatever we do is simply a testimonial to who we are.
This is the number.
Yeah, this is the number for our composite sun. So in the previous a couple of slides, I showed the calculation, just a general example. Now we're going right directly to our particular.
Is this Akbal?
Yes, 1 Akbal.
Wow.
Which we know of as mystery.
This is what I wanted to really get into. This is what I was saying. I want to talk about the Akbal. Intuitively, I knew. Isn't that interesting?
That's great.
This is what I said, and in the last presentation, I wanted to talk about Akbal.
Right on.
Yeah, about the night, the place inside of yourself, the inner light, the fire. Going into this Gaia womb kind of feeling of darkness and meet your higher self.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we are meeting our higher self together.
I think that's kind of what it's pointing to, is that we're certainly supporting each other in that. So
it's also a very mystic place. No, it's very filled with mystery in a way.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And there's your painting from many years ago of Akbal.
Yeah, very mystic.
Yes. And for
And
those who,
crystals.
yes, for those who
The
don't
crystal.
know, I just wanted to share that these are done on silk. So they have, I mean, the physical presence of these is incredible. I find them just electric. Those ones you
That's
brought to Cortez Island, I mean, they were electric and just wonderful.
yeah, it was such a new way. I mean, the silk was what I was looking for. That's probably also what happens when you incarnate. It's like you get attracted to what what tool is good for you to express your inner self.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and the silk did it. I mean, the crystals look so beautiful.
Mhm.
I mean, I had so much fun to paint them all one by one.
One by one.
You, you
Incredible.
can see. I mean, when you zoom in there, it's perfect. But I'm very happy now with my programs, my painting programs, because I can zoom in
Oh, right.
with the silk. Yeah, it's fantastic. So it's the same kind of thing, but a little even better, even harmonic better. It's like I'm totally, let's say, hooked.
I look forward to seeing what you
Oh my
produce.
God. Yes. Because I like to zoom into these details.
Yeah. Well, here's an image that I created to
Right. Cosmic.
express the Akbal energy, and
Yeah, the inner lights, the fireplaces,
yeah, that
the
core
sacred,
self, and
sacred,
surrounded by darkness, and the
like
fractals.
sacred space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wonderful. I love it. It's so cosmic. I love it.
Mhm. So when we look to the lightning path and what we're dealing with there, we have fundamentally the notion of a lunar year of 13 moons. There's 20 of these in the complete round of the Tzolk'in. So you can see that number 7 stands alone. All the other numbers are paired up, but number 7, which refers to cosmic order and mystic power, it stands alone at the top there and is kind of coordinating things.
Mhm.
And I've always found it interesting. You'll see in the upper left-hand corner, that's a crop circle. There's actually 13 circles in that image.
Oh, right.
And
Yes, I've seen that.
they exactly match this notion of increasing complexity and increasing size as we go from 1 to 13 along the Tzolk'in grid. So another message from, I don't know, are they ancestors? Are they extraterrestrials? Whoever's making those crop circles, or Ben and George from the local local brewery. Who knows who's making them? But they
Can I say
they
something?
yeah, of course.
Because I had information also, like they are coming from inside out. They're not made outside. They're made from inside the earth. So
Ah,
energy frequencies come up through the earth, and they make this design. It's
oh,
not.
interesting.
It's. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought I
that
was.
I get you. That rings true.
Does it resonate? It was because
Absolutely.
I was like busy with telos and these people living inside the earth.
Yeah.
And I did write a nice little story about going down into telos and meeting these people in there. And while I was writing, I got this information that the crop circles are coming from inside, actually, because their sacred geometry. These people inside of the earth are talking through the crop circles to us.
Wow.
Well, that's the information I got.
Yeah. Well, they are so mysterious. I mean, it's just, it's always good to hear a new perspective on things. I'd never encountered that notion of, from the inside out. That's
Yeah,
really,
this is, thank you, because I I didn't put very much. Yeah, I did put it in my story, but I didn't think that it's something nobody knows.
yeah. There you go. You're breaking trail again.
Yeah, from inside,
From
it's like
inside
also the
out.
dark side. Yeah,
There you go.
from the Akbar perspective.
Yeah. So there we are, the soaking grid, the Akbal on the left there. We go up to 1 and then over to 7. And there's your.
Oh,
Now, why do I have that? 7, 8. Excuse me while I refresh my memory. I don't know why I brought this in here at the moment. Let's see. Okay, a composite sun.
all right.
Muluk.
Oh my God,
The
how nice.
The cosmic gateway. And
Oh
yes,
boy.
you did do all of those. What is the star of life? You did those by hand, each and every one of them.
Yes, and
Which-
there's no way you can put a lining or something. You have to really go by hand to do these lines.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it.
Oh God, it's incredible. Now there's so much vibrancy there.
Yeah,
Wow.
beautiful. It's a beautiful gate where
Yeah, it sure is.
it's
And
a huge way.
That's really what hopefully this little video will be, is a entry for some people into, finding their way to the gateway and through the gateway into what's beyond.
It's healing through water, isn't it? It's healing through water. Water is like whenever there's a flood,
yeah,
or too much water, too much rain, it's a cleansing process. So wherever on this earth there's gonna be big waves or big inundations happening, it's a cleansing process.
Yeah.
And people die, but also it cleans the place up. So Earth Gaia is really connected to this kind of Muluk energy when she needs a clean up, and when she cleans her house. Her house is the earth.
Wow. And you brought the dolphins in to help us.
Yeah, these dolphins, these are the energies who are helping to fulfill the job, I guess. But they do it very nicely. It's not always that water has to be destructive.
Exactly.
You can sit at the water and meditate. It's very meditative, and if you know how to use it as a tool, it's perfect.
Right on. And there's an image I created that also incorporates a painting that Teresa and I co-created. So our particular dyad contributing to the
very nice healing energy, like Reiki, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels
exactly.
like Earth Reiki.
And it's centered in. I mean, this is you'll see the phases of the moon at the different quadrants there.
Okay.
So new moon at the top, and then first quarter, and full moon, last quarter. So this is the rhythm that we've been on, especially since we started the new moon Zoom group. So we're consciously tracking the lunation cycle and all that it brings, you know, and it's a practice. It's a spiritual practice, you know, to maintain that kind of awareness.
It's a healing practice.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. Wow.
It's a symbolic life. Dane Rudyard, to live a symbolic life is to live a transpersonal life, a life in which every event can be referred to an archetype, thereby acquiring a sacred character. As you, I mean, some people won't be aware of this so much, but the feathered serpent plays a big part of the lightning path journey. And it's a myth of eternal return, very much aligned with the lunation cycle and the changing phases of the moon. But it is definitely a myth and a mythic presence. And as James Hillman says, myths do not tell us how. They simply give us the invisible background, which starts us imagining, questioning, going deeper.
Wonderful. Perfect for Akbal.
Yeah.
That's what I really thought of. I thought I want to bring this over with my presentation, but I'm so happy we decided to do it together, Dwayne. I really like it.
Great.
I'm really happy about it.
Oh, good.
Because I didn't know how to bring that over. But amazing, I was all on the track.
Yeah.
At least with Akbal.
You got it.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But Muluk is really amazing also. The Muluk, I have to think about it because I'm living close to the water. So water and dolphins is probably my theme, which I have to sort of get more out there.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's not my last word. It's your last word.
Well, let's see. It's somebody's last word. Let's see who we got here.
All right, let's see.
Mircea Eliade. The man who understands a symbol not only opens himself to the objective world, but at the same time succeeds in emerging from his personal situation and reaching a comprehension of the universal. Thanks to the symbol, the individual experience is awoken and transmuted into a spiritual act.
Super. You know what, Beverly, she said also, like, she gave me information about my paintings, and she said that they have somebody said there's so much, there's all the coatings from all over the world in my paintings. Right. So from Tibetan Buddhists to whoever. Yeah. She took them for a trip to somewhere, I have forgotten where, but with a whole group of healers, and they found out about it. And then she informed me about it. And I said, well, yeah, because I have the Irish energy in there. Yeah. You know, I have the Celtic. Yeah. The Celtic and all kinds of, these mandalas are all connected to different places. Right. Tibetan Buddhists, and yeah, it's interesting. People can check it out. Yeah. And yeah, really
resonating with the global brain. Like all the repository of ancient, well, I mean, Jung called it the collective unconscious. It was just a huge database of ancient wisdom.
The symbols are working on you. The symbols are working. Like you said, they're vibrant. Yeah. Also, the colors had to be vibrant.
Oh, yeah.
So because the colors are giving an impulse to our subconscious in a way. Some people don't even see colors, you know.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine of somebody who cannot see colors, but everybody is different.
Yeah. So,
So you see my paintings different than I.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Even when we have so many things in common, we still can see from a different perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I feel
Wonderful.
nurtured and, you know, fed by encountering them. It's
Yeah, it's
food for the soul.
yes. Yeah, I food as well. It's like, yeah, thank you for all these candies you did put out here.
You're
I
welcome.
was really curious about what you're gonna pull out of your basket behind your back, and I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, and I love it. It's great. We should do more like this because it's really like inspiring.
Yes.
Hope we inspire the people who watch this movie, these presentations as well.
Yeah.
And Steve, he did put us such a nice platform to present all these new ways of seeing things. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, girl. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll sign off
I
from
thank
here.
you. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Okay.